Hi everybody! There's going to be a weird shadow for a little bit because I have my other stand for when I switch the direction of the camera, but I just thought we would come and see who wanted to hang out with me tonight. So I'm going to be working on some Valentines. I thought I was going to do a different kind of Valentines for this project, but I just got this new set and I really like it, so I think it will make really cute Valentines. Something fun that we are doing at our church in our children's ministry right now is that our children's director, Mandy, sent those of us who wanted to participate, she sent us each like 6 or 7 names of kids that are in our in our children's ministry, and we have a list of things that we can pray over them for the last couple of weeks, and then we're going to send them Valentines just to tell them that we love them and that we're thankful for them and that we've been praying for them. And so what a gift to give someone the week of Valentine's Day. So just showing these little kids how special they are to us, and that we just love spending time with them. And so this is the set that I'm going to use. It's so cute. It's called Magical Day. And I think I'm going to focus on the mermaid and the knight and maybe the dragon. But I think either one of those sentiments are going to be perfect. Hope your day is magical or you're one of a kind. So we are going to stamp them with Memento Tuxedo Black ink, and then I'm going to use some of our Stampin' Blends to color them in. And so I just thought maybe somebody would want to join us. So I'm going to log in to my computer and share this live video with my other crafting page to see if anyone wants to join in, and then I will switch the camera around and we'll get started. So just 1 second. Oh man, that's a very flattering picture of myself. It always works. I probably look tired because I took a nap. It was a very needed nap. So let me know when you get here and we can chat it up. So let's share this on my group page. You can tell me what you guys are up to, and even if you're watching this replay later, you can still comment. And I'd love to hear how you're doing. I also thought it would be fun to talk about an idea that I had for Sunday nights work best for me to go live because Jeff is usually gone playing games with his One Lifes, and so after I put the kids to bed, it's the best time to hang out. So I would like to make it more consistent. This last month has been pretty crazy. And so I haven't been able to be as committed to what I really wanted from the beginning of the year. But I really think that it will get easier as I go. So I'm going to share this page there, and then we will get started. So let's see. Take me back. So if you pop in, just say hello. Alright, so I'm going to turn myself on so that I can see comments if the phone is above in the thing here. So I'm going to mute myself and then we'll get started. I'm sure there's going to be a lag, so I'm going to try really hard not to shake you all over the place, but it's probably going to be a little bumpy for this next part. So as I flip you down like this, you're going to see my head and up my nose probably, and then we're going to flip. Perfect. Here, I'm going to slide you down That was such a weird angle that I had us at. I'm really sorry about that. All right, so we're going to flip us down here. I'm going to make sure that my cord is not going to be right across it. And then we will get started crafting. So I'm going to leave that there. And then you're just going to see my hands. So we're going to test it. It's not happened very much that I have messed with the camera above my head while I'm doing this. So I'm going to open up the Magical Day stamp set, and I am going to probably start with the mermaid. And as you can see, when I receive my clear mount, the clear mount stamps are the red rubber that do not have the wood blocks on the back. Mine adhere to the clear blocks that Stampin' Up! Carries. And the difference between Stampin' Up! And some of the other brands is that Stampin' Up's have the smooth edges around them. And some of the other brands that I have had in the past have been sharp edges. And so this kind of has a ridge in the middle that I can hold on to, and it works really, really well for my crafting. So I am going to, my computer's frozen, so I'm going to refresh it in case anyone's joining so I don't miss anybody. So I'm going to set that aside. And then we are going to open up the Tuxedo Black Memento ink. And the reason we're using this is it is a this is a water-based ink. That's the difference between our archival basic black ink and the Memento Tuxedo Black, is that our archival ink is better used for like watercoloring, and the Tuxedo Black is better used with our new alcohol markers, and so it doesn't smear as much when we're using it. So we're going to use just these pieces of, I think it's 2 3/4 and 2 1/2. So we're just going to stamp our stamp. I just kind of, I'll press it down and then I'll twist just so that it doesn't get the ridges or bumps from the ink pad. And I'm going to put it in the middle because I'm going to punch this out to mount it on a different color of cardstock. So that did a really crisp image and it came out really, really cute. So we're just going to do a few of the mermaids because the names that I was given, I have a few girls and a few boys. So we're going to do a few of the mermaids. And when I'm pressing it down, I will kind of hold it and then kind of press in one spot. But it usually does a pretty clear image. The red rubber are probably my favorite out of all of the different types of stamps we have, between the photopolymer, which are the real clear see-through stamps, and the red rubber, and then we have the wood mount, which is the red rubber initially, but it has the wood blocks mounted that you can mount onto it. I like the clear because it takes up less space in the cases and it still does a really clean stamp image. So we are going to close that up, and then I'm going to clean my stamp using, actually, I have my other one already out. So we're going to use this one. So this is my Stampin' Scrub, and I am going to just spray some of the Stampin' Up! Stamp cleaner. It's called Stampin' Mist, and this one is almost out. I need to refill it. So I'm going to spray that on there. The Stampin' Mist cleans as well as conditions our stamps, and so it is a great way to keep your stamps from getting dirty or any of that residue staying on there. My Stampin' cleaner, my Stampin' Scrub is filthy, and so it really needs It really needs cleaned out. But it still cleans it better than a baby wipe would. So I will continue to use it. So now that we're done with the mermaid, we'll get out the little knight here. I think he's so cute. And I think he's perfect for those little boys to have as on their Valentines. So we'll get back the Memento ink, and these dry fairly quickly, but I'm just going to gather them up and set them aside up here. And then we will ink up our little knight. We will stamp him. We're also going to do him in the middle because I'm probably going to do the same layout. I have not designed it yet, so we will see what happens on there. But we will stamp our little knight. Everybody must be busy tonight. I don't see anyone on. Everybody will probably get caught up on the replay. But I'm still going to do it because I really wanted to catch up on Sunday nights and really be make it a priority. And I really feel like most of the time I'm crafting anyway on Sunday nights, so I might as well like have people to talk to and join in with me as I'm crafting. So we'll close up that Memento ink pad, and then I'll use my Stampin' Scrub to clean the little knight as well. So I spray the lid, and then I use the other side, the base, as the drying side. So we'll put that back away in our stamp case, and then we'll get out our Stampin' Blends to do some coloring. So let me put these little guys out. So we'll do some of the knight and some of the mermaid. And then I have put all of my Stampin' Blends in a paper pumpkin box that was that had a paper pumpkin kit in it. So this is what the Stampin' Blends look like. I was fortunate enough to get all of them. I had some rewards to use up. So these are alcohol-based markers, and there is a fine tip on one side and a brush tip on the other, and they are so fun to color with, and so I'm really excited to share it with you guys. So I am going to post on my wall as well, in case anyone wants to pop over from my normal page. So I'm just going to type that up and ask if anyone wants to come over and join us. Oh, if you hear that beeping sound, Malachi's Tamagotchi his time schedule is all off, and so he starts beeping in the night instead of the day. We need to reset him. So if anyone wants to join us. Follow this link. So we will just add my page here. Okay, so we're gonna send them that, and we'll see if we have anybody come over and join us. So, okay, and there's a lag again, so okay, I think I will show what cardstock we're going to use really quick first, so that we can choose our colors based off of that. designer series paper. So this paper is beautiful, and I have not even opened it yet, but look at how cute these little mermaids are. They're so cute. I am going to open that quick, and then I will show you each of the patterns. I love the bright colors of this designer series paper, and all of it has some sort of like glitter or raised images in it. And so it's so cool, and I'm very excited to share it and to use it. And they each come with two sheets, and so the ones that have the raised glossy glittery image usually are not front and back, but these are. And so this is such a pretty old olive with those kind of scales like on a mermaid's tail, so that's really, really cool. Maybe if I put it a little closer you can see the difference between, there's a really bad lag. So when I'm looking on the screen to see if I have comments or anything, it does like what I said like 5 seconds ago or something. It's so weird. So there's little stars with the fig, and then clouds on one side, and then this one is so cool with the dragons and the knights and the castles. So I just love how those are shiny. I think they add so much. So this one would be really, really fun for a kid's scrapbook page. And then the gray on gray is super cool for a background too. This one is so fun. It has all those little characters and the little owls. Those are so cute. I didn't even notice that before. So this one is full of so much imagination for us because Jeff loves to do like storytelling with the kids. And so, oh, I didn't show the other side, the little trees. Oh, I'm sorry, I just knocked you all over the place. Hello, I saw my Aunt Nay come in. I don't know if you're still here. You can say hello if you are. And then this one is so cute. It has little unicorns. So, and then the other side is this navy color, which is really, really cool. And then this one is like bubbles, and it has the little shiny bubble parts in there as well. And then the pink flowers, and those are all of them. So I think for the girls' cards, I might use the flowers for their Valentines and just focus on the two-tone pink, so the really light color of pink with the melon mambo. I think that'd be really, really cute. So we'll leave that one out. And then for the boys' Valentines, I think actually I'm gonna go with the navy on this side. I think that's a really cool color, and the pattern is a little bit more boyish. So we'll go with those. So I'm gonna put these papers away, and we'll leave those out and then cut them in just a minute. So we are gonna stick with the blues, and we'll probably do some grays with the little knight here. So we'll do the dark smoky slate for the knight, and this one we'll probably do pink pirouette. We might use some of the old olive colors for the mermaid tail. Bring that fun into it. And then there is the dark pink pirouette. So let's see what else. And then we need a hair color. So maybe we'll have a blonde hair with the yellow with the Daffodil Delight. So if you're here joining me, just say hello so that I know who's with me. And then for the knight, I think what we'll do is we're going to use the blue, the Night of Navy color, and let's see. They have the ivory color is like a flesh color, so we'll use that one for their their skin tone. So I'm gonna set those aside and we'll stick to these colors for now. But these, you're gonna see how easy these Stampin' Blends are, and they are so cool. So we'll start by using the fine tip on the Stampin' Blends, and we're going to open it up, and we're going to color their skin. And I will really try to keep my head out of the frame so that you can still see what's happening. So we'll do his face, and then I'm gonna see if I can zoom in. I can! Awesome! I'm really sorry that it's really shaky. Okay, so I'm gonna zoom that in a bit so that you can see a little bit more close up. And I think that his hands have gloves on them, so we're gonna leave the gloves and we'll just color in his skin. And the cool thing about these Stampin' Blends is that they also have a whiteout marker that kind of like lifts the color. It's called a color lifter, and it is so helpful, like if you made a mistake. So we'll color that for the night here, and then I think that I want a red color to bring in the red of we'll do a red and blue shield, and then the feathers in his hair, or not his hair, but on his helmet. So we'll bring in some red to go along with the gray. So we are going to, the cool thing with the blends is that you can use them for adding shadows, as well as just coloring to have a solid color image. So I just go around the outside corners, or the inside corners sometimes. Kind of depends on where I want the accent to be. So if I'm going to use the darker of the markers, so they have a dark cherry cobbler and then a light cherry cobbler. So if you use the dark one first and then you come back in with the light color, it kind of does a shading for you, and it brings out like shadows, which is super cool. So I used the dark in the corners, and then I'm going to come back in with my light marker, and I'm going to kind of like circle it around to pull out that dark to kind of create a shadow. Oh, Tinker's coming to join me. Hopefully she won't try to jump up on the table. And so as you can see, it kind of like fades the line the more that I go over it, and it'll evaporate, and it'll kind of take out the line the more that I go over it. So she's trying to bump my arm, so if I go out of the lines, it's because she's literally like climbing on my lap. She's thinking that I was gone too much this weekend, and she's wanting some attention. I don't even think she slept at my feet last night. Hi. I would move the camera to show you what she's doing right now, but I don't think you'd be able to see very well. So now I'm going to come in and I'm going to color some of his little tuft at the top here. And as you can see, it is super easy when you're using the brush tip to go out of the lines. And so we can go over it with the color lifter, but the colors that I went over and out of the lines with are just going to get covered in the Night of Navy anyway. So I'll switch over to this fine tip side for these other pieces really quick. And then we'll go back over it. So let's go in with the dark color. So I'll color one of each of our little knights, and then we'll switch over to do the mermaid really fast. And get a little bit of both experience-wise. So I don't know if Sunday night is a good night that works for anybody. You guys can leave me a comment below if Sunday nights are good for you guys, or if a different night is really better. I think the other nights that I've thought about doing something are possibly Saturday evenings. It kind of depends on how well the kids go to sleep on Saturdays, so that I don't have interruptions. Most of the time my craft stuff is out in our living room these days, because I have extra kiddos during the week, and so sometimes I'm trying to catch up on projects while they're taking their naps in my guest room and in our craft room, so it's not always the most convenient place to keep my stuff in the room that I started out in, and so I've just been adjusting based off of everyone else's schedule. So sometimes it is nice that in the evenings I can work on my craft projects while Jeff's hanging out playing a video game in the living room, and so we're still able to talk with each other and be in the same room. I don't know what it is about like quality time that we literally don't even have to be doing the same thing, but just being in the same room is good enough. So we could have like the most busy, crazy, draining week ever, and sitting in the same room doing completely different things is still good enough. So I don't know if anyone else works that way with their spouse, but it still fills my tank just being close by after some hard weeks. So I thought I'd talk to you guys about an idea that came up. We have gone through a lot of really hard emotional stuff this month, and so I got to thinking, like, one of the weeks that I was planning on getting on, and then there were some really crazy things happening, and we have some friends that lost a baby, and a friend going through some really hard stuff, and so it just, like, there's always something. So there's the Dark Night of Navy. I'm going to try to keep talking craft stuff while I'm just chatting about life with you guys, but just thought I would process through this in case it's something you guys are interested in. So while all that hard stuff was going on, I still was like craving talking and hanging out with you guys, and if anyone wanted to join me while I was crafting or whatever. And so I had this idea that if I get on like every other week to do a craft thing, that I would ask anyone who joined me if they had anything I could pray about for them, because this is so much more than just like sharing a crafting thing that I love with you guys. It is so much deeper. It's building a relationship and a friendship, if I don't have one already with you, or just making it stronger. But I just feel like there's something so special about connecting, just that bond of prayer with a community that I am really thankful for. And like crafting is so fun for me and therapeutic, and I like sharing it with everybody, but I also feel like there's so much more of a purpose behind it. And so if I was praying over specific needs that you guys had, it would just bring so much more value to the time that I'm spending on here. And so if that is something that you guys are interested in, it would be awesome if you could share whatever your prayer request is. If it's something you don't really want to share with the whole group as a whole, then you could message me what your prayer is. If you're really struggling or going through something, or if you have something encouraging to talk about, I'm okay with that too. But I know that it is a huge blessing to me when people are lifting me up in prayer. And so I want to do that for everybody. So every week when I get on, I'm going to try to, or every other week, however often I'm able to really commit to it. I'm going to try every other week to start with, and then ease in maybe more to an every an every week situation. So I'm gonna see, it looks like I have some people liking the post, and so maybe I have people that can't come over here. So I'm gonna refresh and see if someone's joining. Hi Kathy, so glad you're here. So I'm just coloring some little nights for Valentine's for some of our Summit Kids ministry at our church. And I need to send them tomorrow morning, so they need to get done tonight. So I'm just working on some projects, so I thought that I would invite anyone who wanted to join in. So I was just also sharing about a vision that I had about just connecting with friends through crafting, but also God put it on my heart to just pray for the community that I love. And so if I have people joining me while I am crafting, I really feel like there's so much more that I could be doing to be a blessing while I'm crafting. And so I'm asking if anyone has any prayer needs or something that's really heavy on their hearts that they are asking for prayer for, that they just would either send me a personal message or, hi Shelly, send me a personal message with a prayer request, or you can share it as a comment. This is so much more than crafting to me, and so I know that prayer is so important to me, and it's a blessing to have people praying for me, and I want to do the same for everyone that joins. And so if anyone wanted to ask me to pray for something, I want to lift it up for them. And I just think that that's a way that I can connect with everybody. So I am coloring with the Stampin' Blends, and right now I'm using the dark smoky slate. And just coloring this little knight, and then I'm going to use, I think I'm going to use some framelits to cut him out and then pop him up on top of some, I think I have some cherry cobbler to match the red color that we used with our Stampin' Blends. And so we'll pop him on top of some cherry cobbler, and then we're going to use the navy DSP from the Myths and Magic paper stack. So we're just coloring. This is kind of a longer process. I didn't realize how long it was going to take me to do this coloring. But I figured that it's been like a month since I have gotten on to do a live, even though I have really, really wanted to. And so I was going to get on regardless of how much work I have to do. I want to get seven of these done tonight and get them in the mail tomorrow, so that so that these little kids don't have to wait until after Valentine's Day to get these Valentines. So I tried to do it last Friday, but I had so much stuff going on. I got to host at our church the If Gathering. I don't know if anybody's heard of that, but yes, Shelly, you're so right. When you saw the set, you thought of Put on the Whole Armor of God. I totally did too. Like, you could use this for Sunday school so much. So it's so cute. I'm totally with you. So I just thought it was perfect to send to little boys for Valentine's Day, of just, you're a warrior, you're strong, and that we love them, and I want them to know that we love them in our children's ministry. So I think that idea that our director had was such a fun idea, that each kid would be prayed over for the weeks leading up to Valentine's Day, and then that each of us that volunteered for this project would receive specific names of students that come to our ministry, and that we could be praying really specific things over them all those times leading up to it. And so kids love getting mail, and so I just think it's perfect. Hi, Kayla. My sister is here. I was just thinking about you yesterday. I think you would have liked a couple of the speakers that were at If Gathering. So my brain was so full last night when I got home. I totally could have worked on this, but I was so tired that Jeff was not even finished practicing his sermon for today, and I was like, I'm out. I'm going to bed. So I could have stayed up, and I just didn't. So I know I was tired, though, because going to bed at a decent time last night, I was still needing my nap today. So my Sunday naps, they have just become a routine that I'm not thrilled with giving up when they are interrupted. So I'm really excited that I could zoom in the camera to get a little bit closer of a view. I hope I'm not shaking it too much with coloring on the table. My new camera mount it's sort of a gift for Christmas, but Jeff and I did Christmas a little different this year, and I didn't know specifics until like way too late in the game. And so when he asked me what I wanted, of course it's not enough time to go get something when you're a pastor and it's like the week before Christmas. You have tons of stuff at the church that you have to work on. And so he said, just order some stuff on Amazon that you want. And we were going out of town literally, like we left on Christmas. And so we weren't even here when a lot of my stuff came. So it was my own fault. So what's everybody been doing today? Who's still here? So I'm going to color some shading for this little blondie with our Daffodil Delight. I'm using the dark, and I'm going to give her some highlights, and then I will blend it in using the light Daffodil Delight Stampin' Blends. These markers are so smooth and like, oh goodness, I just love coloring with them. I've been kind of obsessed. I think the last time I got on was when I told everybody that I was trying out for our Pink Stamper Design team, and I think I may have even shown a couple of the projects that I was going to submit into that design team, and I made it! I'm on the design team. I was so excited. Of course, it would come before all of our crazy hit, and so I've had to really try hard to stay on top of our projects that I have to get done for this month. You worked. Oh yes, his party is coming. I'm so sad that we won't be there for Eli's party. But I cannot believe that he is almost a year. I just, like, to think that I was driving to his birth not that long ago. It feels like it was not that long ago, to me anyway. I can't believe he's that old. Because I've only seen him so few little tiny bits. Never enough to be so far away. So the Daffodil Delight comes in the dark shade and the light shade. And what I'm doing is I'm just going over both of them to kind of blend the line a little bit. And it kind of brings in the shadow. So I'll hold it up a little bit. Yeah, I know. I'm sure that it's just as crazy since you're with him and close by. Like, he's still your baby. And he can't be this old. So I have a couple little girls on my list of students that I'm sending these Valentines to who I kind of know them because they have been in my class quite a bit that I help with when I volunteer on Sunday mornings. And so I know that they like these mermaids, so I'm excited to give them to them because I thought of them when this set came in the mail. So now I'm going to go back over with our ivory color to do her skin tone. And then I think I'm going to use the old olive on one for one of the tails to be green because it's my favorite and it's a mermaid and I can. So I'm going to use green on one. Oh, you should send some more videos of his little personality. Maybe I can FaceTime with you sometime. But he's probably not patient enough to talk anymore because he wants to be so busy. So now I'm going to use the dark Old Olive. Old Olive is my favorite color. It is the first ink pad that I got. I think I've probably even told everybody that on this page before, but it is my favorite. Every single time I just gravitate towards these colors so much more, the earth tones. It's been that way in my clothes, and stamping has been no different when it comes to that. So I just went over some of the little lines that are there. Oh, he gets shy. That's so cute. A little bashful. I'm going over the little scales here and there. I'm not doing all of them because when I go over it with the lighter shade, it will blend them, and so not all of them will be pronounced in any way. So I'm just going to go through this and do a couple more of the dark, and then I'm going to take, I'm going to go across this bottom just to create a little bit of a shadow at the bottom, and then I'll do this side on the top. And then when I shade it in with the lighter color, it will give her a little bit more line on the sides. So if you have any questions about what I'm working on, don't hesitate. I'm hoping that it's still working. If it freezes, I'm sorry. My screen kind of keeps acting a little bit weird, so I'm hoping that it's still going. But I think that it's good. So now I'm going to take the light Old Olive color, and I'm using the brush tip because it is easier to blend with the brush tip, and it kind of is, I don't know, I like the brush tip better. It feels a little bit more smooth when I am blending the colors together. I almost started singing. Cadence is, we still haven't seen the movie, but Cadence and I had watched some YouTube videos for The Greatest Showman, the new musical that is in theaters, and we have become kind of obsessed with the soundtrack. Kayla, have you seen the movie, if you're still on? I'm totally curious of if you've seen it and what you think, and I don't even know if Miles would go to something like that with you. I'm totally curious. So I'm going to kind of go over the line that I created for the shadows, and then the other one I'm going to do, oh, I was going to make her pink. Oh well, I guess she's green now. I'm not going to go over it with pink. But I think a pink mermaid would have been cute. Oh, okay, so you're in the same boat. So you've not seen it, but you're listening to the soundtrack. Kayla always liked musicals too, so when I think of a musical, I think of Kayla. So Cadence is obsessed with the song that the little boy sings, of course. And I will probably be sick of the song before I even get to see the musical, because she has been singing it over and over and over again. But I suppose there could be way worse things that she's doing that I could be upset about. But if that's the worst of the things that she's annoying with, it's really not that bad. All right, our little mermaids are so cute. Okay, so now we're going to take our cardstock. So I'm going to set these other ones aside and I'll work on them later. And I'll move the Stampin' Blends out of the way. I'll put them away later. And then we are going to do some big shot work. And you're probably going to get sick to your stomach because of it, how much it shakes the table. But I'm going to zoom back out if I can. There's in, and there's, okay, it's not letting me go out any more than that. So we're just going to stick with it. So I'm going to scoot these out of the way, and I'm going to show you the framelits that I'm going to use. I'm going to use the layering circle framelits. And so how I do this is I usually will take them all out, and then I will get my image out. And this one I want to be a straight edge circle. And then, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the straight edge circle that I want. And then I'm going to use that to find the size bigger in the scalloped circle. And that's what I'm going to use for our solid color. So I'll just pull that out and set that aside as well for that. And then I will put the others back in their case so that I don't lose them, because that totally has happened. That once their stick does not stick anymore, they get lost if I don't put them back. So we're going to put that there, and then I'm going to pull in my Big Shot, and we are going to cut. I'm going to move my paper, grid paper. So, hi Jenna! I'm making some Valentines. So this is really zoomed in, and I tried to zoom it back out, but it is not working. So I'm going to set my paper down on the Big Shot. This is the precision base plate on top of the magnetic platform. And I'm going to put my clear plate that is very loved, so much that it is broken, and I'm going to use it until I cannot use it anymore, because they still work when they look awful. So I'm going to run that through my Big Shot, and the cracking sounds are totally normal, especially when the plate is broken. But it is not anything wrong with the machine, but it just cut our little mermaid out. And I'm going to do all 4 of the images that we colored at one time, so that when I'm putting them together, it will go quicker and I don't have to pull the Big Shot out every time. So I'm just going to run these circles through, and I'm really sorry if it's making you dizzy. When I got my new mount for my camera, I wanted something that could be moved to different locations, but it's so hard to find one that is sturdy enough that is still movable. And so this one was probably $10, so really not bad when it comes to camera mounts. But I wanted something that could be not take up a ton of space either. So I'm going to put the last of our little knights on there and run it through. And I usually go back and forth just to make sure that every little corner had been cut the right way. And then we will put that aside. And then while we have the Big Shot out, I'm going to also use the solid color. I'm going to move my chair out of the way and just stand for a little bit. So I am going to get the Cherry Cobbler cardstock for the one with the knight. And I'm actually going to use my Stampin' Cutter over here and just cut part of it so that we can run the scallop circle through on the Real Red. So I'm going to put the scallop circle on and then run that one through the Big Shot as well. Try not to cover so that you can still kind of see what's going on. And then, if you're still here, Jenna, what have you guys been doing today? I got to take a nap, and that was probably the most exciting thing this afternoon that happened at my house. But Cadence worked on homework after being gone all weekend, and I took a nap. So I have absolutely no idea what the boys were doing. They were watching that Dawn of the Croods show when I went to bed. But, so that is what that is going to look like when I adhere it on the top. And so the designer series paper will get out the cutting. Oh, the preteen years are so fun, huh? Like, the arguing, they're never wrong. I totally understand what that is like. So we are going to actually use, I think I might use the Marina Mist, the darker blue or the lighter blue to go. Maybe I'll use the Pink Pirouette. I'm still processing. I'm sorry that you had a rough afternoon, but I totally understand what that is like. And laundry does not make it any more fun and easy, because I feel like it is the most daunting task ever. So I'm going to find some of my Pink Pirouette, my light pink cardstock to go with, or powder pink maybe. So this color is powder pink, and we're going to use that as the color that we put behind our little mermaid that kind of goes with the designer series paper that we chose for those Valentines for the girls. So I'm going to cut a piece of that so that I could do the scallop circle with that too. So we will run these through, and then we will do a little bit more cutting, but I'll move the camera. Oh, I'm sorry. It's all right. It is a whole other ball game when emotions and hormones come into play. It throws a whole huge wrench. And the saddest part is that I don't think you realize how hard that stage is until you're watching it and your daughter. That you have a lot more patience for yourselves when you're not feeling great, but when the girls go through it, you're just like, suck it up. That's how I feel anyway. Don't be such a baby about it. But such is life. So I'm just cutting out the pink or powder pink with the scallop circles from the Layering Circles framelits, and I'm going to put them back in the case before I lose them again. So they're going to go right back in, and then I will put them away. And then I think that we are done with our big shot work. Yes, it's the worst. I'm going to move my big shot out of the way, and I will put my cutter into place. Wow, it's super zoomed in. I wish I could switch that. Oh, I don't know how to do it anymore. Okay, so I'm going to try to cut this so that you are seeing it. But I'm just going to take my cutter, and I'm probably going to cut it at about 3.5. Since these are Valentines, I don't want to do like a full-size card. And so I'm going to put like 3.5 by 5, maybe 4 3/4. Just so that it's just enough that it is kind of seen around the edge. And then I'll probably do the solid pink on the back. And then write my little note. Since Valentines don't have to be like big giant cards, they can just be like one, like a card front. So I'm going to cut this down for my mermaids, and then I'm going to cut the solid pink at the same time. So I did it 4 1/4 is the length, and then 3.5. So they will, I'll just put those up right on the back. So, anybody doing anything fun this week? we just have more busy stuff. Not necessarily fun stuff. Our student ministry is doing a fundraiser on Valentine's Day. So that has taken over what we're probably going to do on Valentine's Day. Although Jeff is not super like, let's make a plan and do something anyway. So not that that would have happened in the first place, but I feel like because Valentine's on a Wednesday, it probably would have taken a back seat in the first place. So this is the Night of Navy that we're going to use for our night. So it comes out really, really cute on there. Sorry if it was blurry. It's kind of a hit or miss sometimes with that. So we're gonna put our little knights on there, and I will probably use some ribbon on it. Like I said, I really did not do any planning in advance for these cards. Oh my goodness, trips don't help either. Trips are not any less stressful when you know you're going to be by yourself again and things get so busy. I'm so sorry. That was not fun. How long is he going to be gone for, Jenna? I'm assuming he's going to be gone around Valentine's Day. So I'm cutting, these are going to go on the back of the ones with the knight. So I'll do the writing on the red for those. So I'll show you how I'll adhere those together. And then I think that I'm done with the cutter. So I'll move my grid paper back into play. And I'm going to really try to stay in the frame. If I stick to right there, you can see it. I did not think about how it was going to get thrown off. Oh my goodness, 3 weeks. That's so long. Is it for more training? Ugh, I'm so sorry. That sounds awful. Hopefully it won't be too stressful while he's gone. Okay, so I'm going to take my snail adhesive as well as some Stampin' Dimensionals to put these cards together, and I'm hoping that my computer will keep me in line so that I know that I'm still in the frame. So with our little knight, I'm going to, the Stampin' Blends do bleed through, but usually it's just the first layer that they bleed through. And so if you were going to use the Stampin' Blends on a card, or on an envelope even, you would probably want to put a piece of cardstock inside of your envelope where you were going to color on the outside, just to kind of give another layer. Oh wow, he's just too good at what he does. That's the problem. He needs to not be as needed. Oh, I'm sorry. And so then after we've adhered our little knight to the back, I'm going to use some Stampin' Dimensionals, and this one has been stubborn and wants to stick, or have the edges come off. So I usually will do 5 even on a small circle like this. I use them all the time and I go through quite a few, but when you get a pack of dimensionals, they come in packs of 300, so I feel like it's not a huge deal for them to be used like that. So I'm going to take my snail adhesive and kind of do probably 3 or 4, just so that it holds to the back. Since this has got those raised unicorns on it, I'm going to try to cover the edges a little bit clearer. We'll see. It's probably not going to work exactly how I want it to because I'm trying so hard, but we'll see. Okay, sorry friend. I'll be praying for your night. Thanks for coming. Oh, I miss them. So that is what that is going to look like. And I'm not going to put this guy on until after I put my sentiment on the back of the night card. So I'm keeping track of my time. I'm going to try to stick to around an hour or just over an hour, depending on who's with me and how long you want to stay on or whatever. So I'm going to go back to my stamp set, and I'm going to use the You Are One of a Kind on the top of this card, and then I'll put my note underneath it. So I am going to just take my Memento Tuxedo Black, since I was already using that ink in the first place, and I just kind of press down and rub and hold for a little bit, and then that is what that looks like on there. So maybe I'll stamp the other one while I have it out for the other card. So I'll stamp that. You have anything planned this week, Kayla, if you're still here? I'm not sure who it is that's still here. I know that I have one viewer, it's telling me anyway. I don't ever know how accurate those are. But are you doing anything fun this week for Valentine's Day, or do you have to work a bunch? So then I'm going to take my Stampin' Cleaner again and scrub and dry it. So that'll be all done. I have to take a drink. I'm getting dry mouth. Oh, Tuesday's your only day off. I'm sorry. Has it at least slowed down a little bit from Christmas time for you? Okay, so that card is finished, and I'm just gonna take the backs off of my Stampin' Dimensionals, and then I will put this little guy on here, but I think I want to do something fun with silver thread first. Okay, it is still working, that's good. So I'm going to take my silver metallic thread and try to do this in the frame, remembering that I'm zoomed in. So I'm going to take some off of the spool, and I'm not even sure if you'll be able to see this part because it's so fine. And then I'm going to wrap it around my fingers. Oh, I'm so sorry. Stress all around this month. I just can't get away from it. Okay, so I'm going to wrap it around probably 5 times, and then see my paper snips. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some Scotch tape and just take a tiny little bit of it and pinch where the edges were. And it's okay if it kind of folds over, because what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tape there, and then it just kind of opens up, but then I'm going to cover it with our night anyway. So kind of brings some sparkle to the card. So when they get it, it'll have a little bit of that shimmer on the back. And then I'll write my little note underneath. So there is one of the boy cards that we are working on, and then I'll put the other little guy together in a little bit. So let's stamp the same sentiment on the one for the girls. Oh, it froze again. I'm so sorry if it's getting glitchy for you guys. But I figure maybe I can edit some of that out. I don't even know if I have time to do editing. I might just put the numbers for the items that I'm using afterwards. So I'm going to put it on both of our cards here for the backs of our little mermaids. So I'm gonna put this up here. You can count 1, 2, 3. Oh, that one's much better and way, way straighter. I don't know how many of these little girls are really gonna care that their words aren't straight on their Valentines, because one of them is probably even too little to even know what a Valentine is, but I think it's such a fun idea. I hope it works out and that every kid that comes into our ministry receives one, because they don't know that we're doing it, which just makes it special. So let's tape this. I'm going to tape on this part this time. And I'm going to go all the way around since it has those raised up bumps from the glitter. And then one in the center. And then I think, is there a rhyme and the reason? Flowers kind of look like they're facing up, so I'm going to do it that way. Okay. I think that is as close as it's going to get on that one. So we will flip it around now, and we are going to work on our little mermaid, who came out super cute with our Stampin' Blends. And the little places that I went out of the lines, I could totally use the color lifter to go over those areas. But again, these little kids are probably not going to care that I went out of the lines. We certainly don't care when they go out of the lines when they're coloring. Some of them are so funny when they color. We had a fun group this morning. Didn't have as many this morning, so it was a lot more calm than some days are. But after long weekends of being really, really busy, it's fun to have that more quiet one-on-one time with the few that you do have. So that was still really fun. So that's going to go there. And we're going to do the same thing with the metallic thread on this one. That I'm going to wrap it with my fingers here, and I'll probably go around like 5 or 6 times. Just to add some, woo, almost knocked it right off onto my lap. Add some shimmer to the card. This one I might even add, since it's a girly card, I don't know if that really super matters to them, but I have some little adhesive backed sequins that I just got that are so cute. And I don't know if they have colors that would match. Maybe the green one match. So we're gonna open them and see if any of these colors will match what we're working on. I'm really sorry that this is not opening very well. So we are gonna cut into that and open up these adhesive backed sequins. They're so cute. So they might not be the right shades, but the green might work. So it has Berry Burst and Tangerine Tango, and I think that this, oh, that one might work. I think that one is Daffodil Delight, so we might use that one. And then I think that this one is Pool Party, and then this one is Lemon Lime Twist, perhaps. So I think I might use, so okay, we'll do a vote for whoever's with us. If anyone is still here. I got these tangled. So a vote between the yellow or the green. So if anyone is still here, you can respond with the green or the yellow. It's not saying anybody's with me anymore, so Kayla may have gotten out. So if someone is still here, we'll go with their vote. Otherwise, I might just go with the yellow one. And then we'll start to wrap up our time today. So it went a little bit longer than I thought it would. So we'll do some little adhesive sticks. These have glue dots on the back of them already. So they are already ready to go. So I'm gonna put 2 down here and 1 up here, and then our little girl's all ready. So she's so cute. So this is one of each of our little Valentines that I worked on for our little kiddos at church. And so I'm gonna spend some more time working on them, but I just wanna thank everybody who joined in today and who's catching the replay. I hope that anyone who's watching the replay just thinks about anything I can be praying for them about, and if you want to leave it in a comment or send me a message, that would be awesome. And I'll be lifting up those needs in my prayers until we're together again. And I just want there to be a little bit more purpose behind just hanging out and doing some crafts together, but really reaching out in that way. And I just feel like that would be a really filling, uplifting thing to do. So thanks for joining me, and I hope everybody has a wonderful night, and I will let you know when I'm coming back. So have a good night and a good week. See you later.